Let's get the views now of some of the MPs who witnessed those exchanges a bit earlier. I'm joined now by Wendy Chamberlain, Lib Dem Chief Whip and MP for North East Fife, by Rupa Huq, Labour MP for Ealing Central and Acton, and by the Scottish National Party, Stephen Flynn, who represents Aberdeen South. Now, I should say a request to Conservative headquarters also went out for a representative to appear, but we haven't had a positive response to that. So a very good evening to you all. And Rupa Huq, did it cut through for you? The Prime Minister also saying he was as appalled as anyone when he heard, for instance, about the treatment of cleaners and security staff, the rudeness to them.
Look, that's the stuff that he read out at the beginning, and he obviously had a script there saying that he was sorry, but then he took over an hour of questions afterwards, and he really showed no remorse at all. And it's true, it's really disturbing to hear that there was such disrespect for cleaners and, you know, more junior staff who did stick to the rules, and the contempt that he has for them. I mean, he read out some stuff he was told to read out, but then, again, the arrogance of the man in the rest of it, it didn't sort of marry up with the pre-prepared beginning bit. And he obviously, you know, it's in that report, isn't it? It says, page 14, I think, it looks like we got away with it. I think there's lots of stuff about, you know, how they deliberately were doing this. Talks in one stage about drinks which aren't really drinks. What should we call them? What about a leaving speech? I mean, yeah, he said that he has sympathy for cleaners and stuff, but just that was the beginning bit he read out. His actual actions, I think, you know, the arrogance. This lot have been in power too long, and they think they can do anything now. And surely his time should be coming to an end. Any normal Prime Minister would have had the decency to resign.
OK, and Rupa Huq, your party's in a bit of a difficult position, isn't it, as the Prime Minister pointed out today, because your leader called for the Prime Minister to resign when it was announced that he was being investigated by the police, not fined, when the investigation started. And now that your leader is being investigated by Durham police, the Prime Minister asked, well, why isn't Sir Keir resigning?
Well, look, there's a huge contrast between those two sets of events. Durham police previously found that there was no case to answer. They had enormous pressure put on them. Keir Starmer is completely confident. That was at a completely different time. It was the time of the Hartlepool by-election when we weren't in a severe national lockdown. These events, 2020, we're talking a different time, a different place. And also, you know, lying to Parliament is a very serious offence. And I mean, if we're talking cost of living crisis, this entire exercise has cost £460,000 of taxpayers' money. And the whole reason we've had the Sue Gray report is easy to forget. It was originally going to be by Simon Case, the Cabinet Secretary. When you read through the report, it says he was at one of these parties, so he had to recuse himself. The Sue Gray report, if Boris Johnson had been honest from the start, there would be no need for this at all. And we've got, you know, it's not just a one-off, a birthday cake thing. There were several events, weren't there? The photographs that we've seen where he's raising a toast, you know, he should be toast. I think it's appalling.
OK, and Rupa Huq, can I just ask you about those by-elections that Wendy Chamberlain mentioned on June the 23rd? Can we expect to see the de facto cooperation between Labour and the Lib Dems to try to deliver a bloody nose to the Conservatives once again?
I mean, I think voters in this country are very intelligent, and in Wakefield, where we came second, I would suggest everyone watching to plump for the Labour Party. We have less chance in the one in the southwest. I think people should always have the opportunity to vote Labour wherever they live. But, you know, coded message, be clever about this. There's an opportunity that we can have a Tory scalp here. And, you know, just look at any opinion poll. They're way behind now, but they're desperately clinging to the wreckage. It's desperation from this lot. It's the last gasp of a dying, discredited regime.
OK, very good talking to you all. Stephen Flynn, Rupa Huq, Wendy Chamberlain, thank you all very much indeed for joining us on Sky News tonight. And just to align, we did ask the Conservatives for a representative to interview as part of this discussion, but unfortunately they said no one was available.